Today we're going to be taking a little break from our Evil Dark Urge run to look at a new custom race and class in the official Baldur's Gate 3 mod manager. Different versions of Astral Elves have been available through unofficial mods for a while now. The version that I'm using today is from author Tep Kunset. We'll talk more about these elves shortly, but first let's talk about the more substantial of the two mods we're looking at, and that is without question the Mystic class. This official mod is from author Zevo and adds a new class adapted from D&D 5e's Unearthed Arcana. Mystics revolve around the use of psionic and psychic abilities. This class is so beefy that it took me over 30 minutes just to go through all of the various tooltips and come up with an idea for a build that I might enjoy playing. This base mod has 6 detailed subclasses, but there are even more extended mods to add to this one for even more. To keep my options manageable for this first dip into Mystics, I only downloaded the base class. Mystics are incredibly customizable, as the author of the mod mentions, almost to their own detriment. The first two decisions we have in the character creator are psionic talents and psionic disciplines. However, I will note that you will probably want to make these choices in tandem with your subclass, as a lot of the features have synergy or anti-synergy with each other. Before even opening the character creator, I did read the full write-up on Nexus mods of the different subclasses, so I'll link that in the description below for you. That way I had an idea of what I was getting myself into. While I was intrigued by several of the subclasses, I ultimately went with the Order of the Nomad, whose theme focuses on traveling the multiverse to unravel mysteries. At level 1, this subclass grants +1 to all of your skills, themed around the knowledge that you have gained during your travels. At level 3, we get the Memory of 1000 Steps, which is an ability that will force a successful attack against you to miss, and allows a special teleport ability until the end of your next turn. At level 6, we increase the range of our psionic disciplines by 10 feet, and this mod is also compatible with other mods that increase the overall level cap for the entire game. Going back to our psionic talents, these are classified as cantrips. I picked up Light Step, which is a bonus action that increases your movement and speed and grants immunity to being prone for 1 turn. I also picked up Mind Slam, which deals 1d6 force damage and knocks the target prone. Mind Thrust might have also been a better pickup here, as it uses an int save instead of a con save, which are less likely to be high on enemies, but I wanted to branch out a little bit from psychic damage so that we aren't completely useless when we meet certain enemies in this game. Mystics have access to 1 psionic discipline as a baseline, and most subclasses get an extra 1 or 2 based on a much smaller curated list. You're going to see the complete list of everything under the first psionic disciplines tab, which I'm not gonna lie, was pretty overwhelming. I did go through all of this first. I'd recommend first going to your subclass disciplines. For nomads, this smaller list includes Nomadic Arrow, Chameleon, Mind, and Step, as well as Third Eye. I went with Nomadic Arrow and Nomadic Step, which focus on ranged abilities and teleportation, respectively. For my choose anything option, I was tempted by Mastery of Force and Telepathic Subjugation, but ultimately I went with Psionic Weapon, which focuses on weapons that do, as you might expect, psychic damage. I am not at all familiar with this class either in D&D or in Baldur's Gate 3, so these are just my initial guesses for something that I think I might like the build of. But if you've played this subclass before, do let me know what some of your favorite builds are. Quickly filling in some other stat-based information, Sage seemed like the most fitting background for the description of the Order of the Nomad. Arcana, History, and Perception are already locked in for my skill proficiencies, and I added Nature and Insight to the list as well. Coming back around to our custom race, Astral Elves are rooted in Spelljammer lore, which is also entirely unfamiliar to me. I do play a lot of D&D, but we spend most of our time in Faerun, the Domains of Dread, and Exandria. According to the Forgotten Realms wiki, Astral Elves can trace their lineage back to the Feywild like other elves, however, they have called the Astral Plane their home for millennia. Here they are closer to their deities and can carry a divine spark both in their actual powers and even in the gleam of their eyes. They are said to be among the first creatures that established civilizations in the astral plane, though they are not alone. They have a long confrontational history of having to defend themselves from horrific monstrosities, aberrations such as illithids, and even other humanoids such as the Githyanki. That should be interesting. The Astral Elves' outlooks on life, time, and existence differ dramatically from that of Taurelian elves, because living beings do not age on the astral plane, allowing them to live for thousands of years. Different people handle this form of existence differently. Some may become apathetic or melancholic, while others live lives of introspection or meaningful meditation. Others still set out to explore various planes of the multiverse, and I do believe that is where we will find our Tav. In this video, we are going to be exploring the first few levels of the Mystic class and do our best to roleplay as an Astral Elf. Nova and I will see you aboard the Nautiloid. My head. Alrighty, we are aboard the Nautiloid and ready to get started. I have rearranged my toolbar so it's easier to find everything. This is my normal setup for regular actions and weapon actions. This is melee, this will be ranged. We've got astral knowledge like the Githyanki do, and we can add that to the first skill check that comes along that we want a bonus to. We also have psychic focus, which if we click has 3 options. We can either gain a +1 to weapon attack rolls. We can make ranged attacks with advantage, which we currently don't have. We might have one, hold on. And then we also have nomadic step, which increases the movement speed by 10 feet after teleporting. And only one of these can be active at a time. So let's just start off with the weapon attack rolls. So that will kind of be universally accepted. And we can switch these at any time, it looks like. It's just a bonus action to do so. On this top line, we have cantrips and one of our racial abilities. So we have Light Step, which is one of the Mystic classes that alters our move speed and prevents us from becoming prone for a turn if we have a bonus action free for it. We also have Mind Slam, where we can knock someone else prone. We have good old Sacred Flame that comes from our Astral Elf, and then also our Starlight Self is a racial ability, and this works on Starlight Step charges. So if you come up here, we have a little bar for that. We will have 1 charge now. It looks like we get another at level 4, 8, and 12, and those all recharge on a short rest. The next row, I've set these up a little bit differently than my normal casters, since these are not spell slots. On this row, we have all of our bonus actions, just so that I can kind of get an idea for what's going on. I know that there are different tabs for these things, but I like to be able to see all of my options at once. So we have Speed Dart. So this is where I was saying we do have a ranged weapon. It looks like we still need a ranged weapon to do this, though. So this adds 1d10 damage to a ranged weapon attack. It's a bonus action and costs 1 psi point. We start with 4. We also have Lethal Strike, which endues weapons with psychic energy for, again, 1d10 damage. I think these come from 2 different of these are basically the same thing, but I think they come from 2 different classes that we were talking about earlier, so this is just an overlap. Both of them can be upcast, basically, by spending more psi points to increase the potency. We also have Ethereal Weapon, which transforms our weapon into psionic energy, and that means that if we miss, we still do half damage, which sounds really heckin' cool. That is also a psi point. And then in addition to our racial ability to zoom around the battlefield, we also have our nomadic feature that lets us teleport as well. This is a psi point. I believe we can spend additional ones to, I'm guessing, increase the range. We also have a really cool feature. This is 2 psi points, but it allows us to teleport up to 20 feet. And until the end of our next turn, we have a bonus 20 feet of movement, and we can cast back again, which is a second teleport. So with one bonus action, we'll have the ability to do 2 little guys, 2 little teleports. The rest of these have, they cost more psi points, with the exception of that one. I'll come back to that. These all cost more psi points than we currently have at this level. Unlike the spells that you would get leveling up a caster, it looks like we just get these right off the bat, but we won't be able to use them until we level up. This one we can use. It's 3 psi points, but it requires we have an ally, and I'm imagining it's grayed out because we don't currently have an ally. So with that, let's get started and see how this new class goes.
Good.
While I am an altaholic and I enjoy just making characters in general and trying different builds, it is exciting to have some fresh new content that is entirely new to me. We're just going to pick up some of our starting things. And yeah, the plan is in this video to go through at least until level 3, because that's when we get some more of our abilities, I think, and just see how things play out. And if people are enjoying it, I can keep adding to the videos if people want to continue seeing this playthrough, but I'm also happy just to leave it as a one-off if people just wanted to see what this class is about.
Images of goblins, their habits and histories flash into your mind.
As I mentioned in the introduction, Astral Elves have lore history rooted in the astral plane, which is home to Illithids and Githyanki.
Yes,
Please. Before they return.
We are not going
They return.
to have Astral Elf specific dialogue. It'll be the elf dialogue, if anything, but I'm going to do my best to pick like the most RP appropriate action.
Remove us from this body. From this case. Free us.
I think we already know, given our history. I don't think we need to ask. I feel like we know what's happening here. I'll still investigate because that is an area we're somewhat good in, hopefully. Nope. Nope. Not today. We're a little shaken up. That's all right.
apart from this strange context, you notice nothing unusual about the brain.
I think I'm trying to decide if we would do anything about this or if we would just leave. I think what we're going to do is we're going to try out. Let's try out our ethereal weapon. So we still did 2 points of damage. Psionic energy, melee attacks. We'll still do. Okay, so it's not psychic energy. It's still just regular. We'll get there eventually. Oh no, we did. Okay, he didn't flail this time. Thanks. All right, so it's not psychic energy. It's just our regular weapon damage, but gives us that tenacity feature.
Your head.
You are no thrall. Flackith blesses me this day.
I don't think we'd ask. I think we know what she means.
We might survive.
What do you suggest?
First, we will address them.
All right. Temporarily allies in this fight. Okay, we still don't have a ranged weapon. Let's try and do this lethal strike. I'm just going to use 1 psi point. And then let's see.
Here we go again.
Okay, we missed. We still... Do we still have our thing up? Cool. So we still have our other bonus up for 2 more rounds. It was a 10-round thing. And we got here quick enough from skipping dialogue. So we not only did the tenacity damage on our weapon, but we also got the half psychic damage too. That's very cool.
I am death. Taste my fury.
As I mentioned in the little introductory situation, Astral Elves, or not Astral Elves, Mystic class was in Unearthed Arcana, and I believe it got pulled because it was too strong. Which makes sense why people were excited to get it in Baldur's Gate 3. I'm going to take a little healing potion just in casesies.
Fury. I am death.
And
No time to
they don't seem to be wrong about that. It seems like an interesting class for sure. If you play D&D, you might have noticed a lot of psionic subclasses have gotten added to other classes, and I think that's what they did. Oh, that was for 1 turn, so we needed to do it again if we wanted to do it this turn. I understand. Okay. Rather than adding it their own class, they just added it to other things. So not a super strong showing in that first fight, but we're learning. As you saw in the very beginning, I did set this to custom mode just so that I can have some more quality of life things like always asking about reactions. But we are on honor mode rule sets and tactician difficulty. To get the extra XP, we are going to wake up our friends. Oops. Come over here, please. Oh, let's equip our ranged weapon. And is this the best we can do? Let's pick up a short sword instead so we have a better chance to hit. I spec'd for dex. We're going to press the center button here.
Machine made them hostile.
And then let's do our lethal strike again. That's better. All right, gonna go collect our rune and our key. Let's actually pause again too. We're just trying to get all the XP we can to see what this class is all about. Speed dart. Okay, yeah, so that seems to be almost exactly the same.
Maybe I should... No, this is good.
Just with different flavor.
This is your end.
But for what?
I also have some mods enabled, so I will list those in the description, but we just picked up the dies for one of them. I mean, obviously, we have the we have the racial and the class mods, but I have a few other mods as well. Few might be an understatement. Lots of good quality of life things in the mod manager now. Oh, I forgot we're supposed to click on the console table instead. All right, so as the Mystic class, we're going to get wizard options. So let's just try and get a little bit of
Are you satisfied?
information.
Construction is too...
This ship is crashing. Do you good?
Lizelle is not getting on our good side or changing our mind about the wars of our people.
The console hums to life.
What is this illithid technology?
Nothing in the appearance of the device betrays it. Then discomfort fades, and another sensation washes
I don't think we're
over
happy
you.
about this, but we don't want to leave her
Connection.
behind.
You feel a shiver.
Head on over this direction. All right, do we want to change our focus before we go into this fight. Make ranged attacks with advantage in movement speed. That could be good for this. I also like, let's try the advantage. We can change that on a bonus action if we need to, so it's not the end of the world. We are going to switch over to Shadowheart so we can swap out her spells for Bless and Command. I'm going to rearrange her toolbar real quick since I plan on keeping her in the party. If this is the first video you're seeing of mine, I have just like a little setup that I do for all of mine because I have a problem when it comes to making alts, and I will endlessly be able to not find things if everything doesn't end up in the same place. Oops, that's not what I meant. We're going to come over here, getting ready to hit the pod, but first we're going to cast Bless. We're going to restore ourselves and then run into combat. Yes, yes. Autosave, all is well and good.
Do it. We need to get out of here now.
All right, so we have our bonus to ranged weapons. Let's go ahead and add a psi point. Let's see. I feel like trying to take down the Hellbore is a little bit of hubris talking, but I am curious to see how far we can get them down. Let's play it safe. We'll go with the imp. Nine points. Okay, we wouldn't have been able to get the Hellbore down, so that was the right decision.
One day, I'll catch a break.
Just collect our loot as we go.
Victory awaits. This is your end.
Nice job.
I'm ready.
Move Shadowheart forward. And I forgot to equip a bow for her. That's all right. We did just fine with our fire damage. Good job. Look at everyone landing their hits in our first round.
Not the best time.
All right. Let's use our teleport just to see it. This has a 60-foot range. That is huge. Okay. You know, this is a fairly pointless, application of that, but I just want to use as many of the abilities that we can. We have nothing to hit right now. So let's dash. And we're going to wait here. We're not going to go past the top step.
Time to strike.
Always pull items closer to you. It'll save you on some movement. And we're going to dash.
Make way. Need to stay focused. Got to move.
How much movement does Lizelle have? I shouldn't have gone over there. I didn't realize that Shadowheart and I were on the same initiative, and we could have tried the command. We're not going to do that, though. I will run her up here with everyone else. All right, now we're going to do Shadowheart's turn first. Drop your weapon, please. Thank you. Bring that over so we don't take an attack of opportunity. And now we can run ahead.
Can't even catch my breath.
Time to press ahead.
All right, we're gonna do another one of these speed darts. $17 damage at level 1. Heck yeah, that was close to max damage. It was a 5 on the piercing damage and a 10 on the psychic out of a d10.
Time to strike.
All right.
Position.
Let's do a hamstring shot on the boar. And miss.
If this ship hits the ground, we're dead. We must take the transponder.
What's hiding here?
I'm glad we're not panicking. All right. We've got the point and we're going to... Oh, we're probably not going to get them back, huh? They changed it so you don't get your spell slots back, so it's probably the same with these. Okay, fine. We still have advantage on those ranged attacks, so that's pretty cool.
Swift and lethal. I will not know failure.
I need to reach the transponder.
Should check for anything useful.
I'm gonna move everything. I don't know if we're going to invite Lizelle back, so we're just gonna send these to other people. Okay, that's it for Shadowheart. We'll pick up just a couple last loots and then head on out.
I'll give it a shot.
The helm's alien.
I'm supposed to have a mod that makes the
As you wait,
earrings
The tadpole squirms. in
use
your
gravity, but those are also custom earrings, so I'm wondering if the two mods aren't playing nice together. What a bummer. Yeah, we're gonna wonder where the heck we landed.
The chaos of the crash site confuses the landscape. You'll need to find a settlement or landmark, and you'll need to do it quickly. The tadpole is a death sentence.
All right. We are among the ravaged beach. I know we've all seen this a bunch, so I'll try and go through it fairly quickly. I think we're going to wonder... Oh, Shadowheart, where'd you go? We're going to wonder about this artifact because we want to uncover the mysteries. Shadowheart, where are you?
What are you doing? I'm alive.
Checking to see if you're alive, of course.
And speaking of, how are we? True. I remember. No. We might have escaped, but we need each other. And we. Lead the.
Okay, we're back. All right, it was just a cinematic glitch. All right, so you can see by taking up that little... Okay, interface, would you like to work today? All right, and we're back. I reloaded the game.
Watching me.
Hopefully we don't have any more glitches like that. But in any case, we're going to try and wrap up this beach as quickly as we can while still picking up some goodies along the way. Oh, I was saying before, we've leveled up due to the
Must be a settlement somewhere nearby.
little bits of XP we picked up on board the Nautiloid. It definitely helps to have that extra level before taking on the intellect devours here. So let's see if there's anything we can do. We are not proficient with that. We could pick up... I think we have proficiency in shields, but we don't have one. So let's pick up another short sword at least. I think that's about all we can do for now. We'll level up. On level 2, we get 2 psi points. So that should be a total of 6, I think. We started with 4. We get telepathy, so we can read thoughts. And after spending psi points, you can spend a bonus action to regain hit points equal to 1 plus half your mystic level. Interesting. We have a lot of things we can do with our bonus action. We all know what clerics do at 2nd level, I assume at this point. We're going to go into sneaky mode. And I think we're going to keep our ranged buff intentionally. I feel like most of the time this body doesn't have anything, but I always hope sometimes there's a, you know, a brain for a psychic resistant potion. All right, we're going to go into turn-based mode.
My faith protects me. Does this count as adventuring?
Vicious filth. Best keep some distance or this will be a short fight.
Still on my feet.
All right, I don't think we have any AoEs right now, which is a little bit of a bummer. Oh, so we tested on board the Nautiloid. I was like, I don't know if we're going to get our psi points back. It looks like we haven't. We got 2 more from the level up, and we had 1 already. Where did my attack go? Okay. Let's go with our ethereal weapon this turn so that we have that for the rest of the fight. Presuming we stay alive. And then let's see about knocking this guy prone. Nope. Okay, and it's a cantrip, so nothing happens on a failure. Ooh, we're in a bad spot. Defensive step. It costs 2 psi points plus a reaction. When we are about to be hit by attack, you can increase your armor by 4. They rolled a 14, so that would help us. And we gain disengage. Does that mean we can move? It does. So we can move away without attacks of opportunity for free. Well, we already paid for it, but free on this turn. Ooh, we don't have any psi points left, so that was the last of our psi points. We probably didn't need to move away. Let's bonus action. Stab. With the we missed, but with the tenacity, we got that down. That's going to be so helpful. And then let's do a piercing strike.
Can't give up.
Okay. And do we have anything? We really didn't pick up very much on the Nautiloid. We have spell slots though, so let's try and get one of these guys down.
Heading there.
Look at Shadowheart. She's doing so good.
Come on, can't stay idle.
All right. That was good. That was good for 2 players on honor mode settings. I will take it. Would not kill us to take a rest right now. So actually, let's do that before we go too much further. Why do I keep hitting that? That's not what I mean. We're going to go to camp. Heavily encumbered. Oh, because of the mods. We have camp clothes. All right, I did turn down the supply modifier again, just so I don't have to spend all my time picking up food out of baskets.
Yet your eyes refuse to stay closed. Every time they flicker shut, the tadpole seems to twitch behind them. Dragons, Gith, and the hells themselves have come after you. Yet it is this creature that lingers in your skull.
This is interesting. But I think we're going to focus on a cure.
And you will find it, no matter the cost. Your life is your own. No wriggling tadpole is going to change that. Sleep claims you. Determination buoyed by gentle dreams.
Alrighty, I've updated our attire so we can look a little bit more fashionable as we move around the coast. I am using the Karsus dye on Nova and the Celestian dye on Shadowheart. There's one called Shar, but the purple's a little brighter on this one, so I thought it might be fun. And I use the Gratzt when we get Astarion in the party, so let's get going. Let's go help our fellow pale elf over here.
Hurry, there, in the grass. You can kill it, can't you? Like you killed the others?
Easily stand back. I should have took my astral buff and perception today.
And you. Now, I saw you up splendid. And now you're going to tell me exactly what you and
you have it backwards. They took me prisoner just like you.
What was that?
The mind flayers. Ooh, we have a monk option. That's cool. We have advantage on it. Let's do that one. Really? Oh, I was so excited.
A fine effort, but I've seen it all. I was walking this land while your ancestors were learning to crawl. Now tell me.
Doesn't seem very fitting for a fellow elf. We have the mind flayers in our heads.
Yes. Yes, that has to be it.
All right, all right. Calling a truce.
You're not one of them. They took you. Same as they took me. I'm half tempted to spill your guts all over the dirt anyway, but for now... Apologies.
Glad to see we're all caught up.
Indeed we are. Please... My name's Astarion. I was in Baldur's Gate in the strong and silent type. All right. Please tell me you at least know something about these worms.
Yes, they'll turn us into mind flayers.
Turn us into... Although... It hasn't happened yet.
Control it. We need to get rid of it.
Well, yes, of course. But first things first.
Travel with me.
And all right.
All right. Let's head on over here. There's some balsam on the coast. Need those greater healing potions. I'm going to head over here.
My faith will guide me.
Let's go ahead and take our guidance. Oh, I already had it. Never mind. And I don't want to miss the chest, so let's just take intelligence even though... Wait, hold on. You gain proficiency, so that doesn't do anything for me because I already have proficiency, right? Oh my lord, click on the right one. Okay. We already have proficiency nature. We're fine. Hopefully. Okay. I don't think we're strong enough to move this. We need Shadowheart's help. Just gonna open up this so we can get the mark on our map. We're gonna give all this to Astarion. I'm actually going to give Shadowheart the short bow. I like one of my characters to have a hamstring available, even though it does less damage. She shouldn't really be hitting with her bow anyway. And we'll level up Astarion, which involves literally no choices.
Keep your distance, darling.
His toolbar is always a little bit of a pain in the butt. Move our sneak attacks over.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more.
Look at that, we all have 17 hit points. And triplets. I would say twinsies, but triplets. We take no chances with mind flayers.
Bound to be dangerous, even if injured. Best be careful.
Okay, so here's another ability that's a reaction. We're not going to use it right now, but when you miss with a ranged weapon attack, you can repeat the attack roll against the same target, 2 side points. So we definitely don't want that auto triggering, but we're not going to react there. We do have our 6 points today.
Monster. Death is too good for it.
We love to see a speed potion. Sorry, potion of speed for being correct.
Over there. Worth checking for supplies, maybe.
What is this ancient sigil?
You approach the sigil on the stone. Magic.
A hand? Anyone?
I'm going to try and speak to the weave.
Hello. I'm Gale of Waterdeep.
At introductions.
At magic. Say, but I know you, don't I? In a manner of speaking. You were on the Norse Lloyd as well.
This is hard. I think she's both interested in the Nautiloid, but also, like, wants to know how you got stuck in the stone.
I don't know what transpired exactly, but the ship broke into pieces and I suddenly found myself in freefall. As I was plummeting to certain death, I spied a glimmer quite near where I estimated my body to impact with recognizing this glimmer to be magical in nature, I reached out to it with a weaving... How about you? How did you survive the fall?
To be honest, I haven't a clue.
Fair enough. Back on the ship, you too were on the receiving end of a rather unwelcome insert.
Yes.
You see?
Most, no doubt, but I find myself hoping to be in the presence of the few. You don't happen to be one of them.
These tab holes are beyond my knowledge. I cannot remove them.
You're certainly going to need a healer, and soon.
All right, let's go. I'm going to let my own bias against scale not impact our role-playing of someone who I'm sure is quite interested to learn about the weave of this planet. I'm pretty sure I turned off the basket full of equipment. Either that or I've just completely missed it. Pretty sure I turned it off for this particular run. But I've gotten very accustomed to having Featherfall from the beginning. And pick it up on Gale, I suppose. As always, I will respec Gale as soon as we have Withers in camp. I absolutely loathe his starting spells. Let's go ahead and level him up, though. I'm going to stick with evocation. It's just the easiest while we're trying to figure out everything else with our main class. So let's do... I want Featherfall, but also Jump and Longstrider are going to be really good for the upcoming fight. Gale is a human, which means he can wear light armor and a shield. So I would rather not spend the spell slot on mage armor, and I just use the other things. So yeah. Let's give him that armor. Still don't think we have a shield yet. We will after this fight, though. Alright, so we're going to cast our Enhanced Leap. And our Longstrider. And enjoy the benefits of those.
Not as bad as it could have.
It's not like we didn't already have plenty of mobility. Okay, I think before going into this, we are going to respec into our psionic weapon attack. I want to see, I want to try and bounce around and use some melee attacks and see how that goes.
You both, but we don't. And got ourselves competition already. That's our ship.
Okay. I'm going to do the monk roll because I did commit to RP. I want to just attack them so we can get their stuff, but in the efforts of RP.
Well, in that case, come on, you lot. Nobody's get.
You're more cunning than you look. I thought we had a fight on our hands.
Wouldn't that have been nice? Okay, we can grab this shovel real quick. And before we go into the crypt, we are going to go grab those 2 chests out here, just so that should the situation arise that we need some extra spell scrolls, we have them.
What's that?
Something tells me that the lads inside are not going to be as courteous as Gimbleblock was with our insightful warning. We're going to have... There's so many ways you can do this fight. You can, while they're standing here, if you so choose, you can actually hit this down and it'll instantly kill both of them. You can also drop that down there to distract the people inside, or you can walk in by knocking on the door and they'll immediately attack you. Or you can use Astarion to lockpick and then you surprise them. Any options? You can also just go in the back way too. There's 2 other doors you could open in order to... Did that again. We need to be up close. No one else has our shared initiative. There's the door by the beach, and then there's also the back door at the top of the ladder from the dank crypt where you find withers. We're going to bonk.
Another fight.
Going to stab. And we're going to firebolt. And also stab. That seems correct. Alright, Astarion, finish it off. Okay, calm down.
Swift as my feet can carry me.
Like I said, we're going to avoid picking up all the things. Turn off this brazier. We're going to go into our Heidi mode. Actually, you know what? We're not. I'm always torn on this fight.
Let's see what you're hiding.
Can you stand up, please? Thank you. Oh, don't do that. We're going to open this and let her see us.
Everything.
Because she will spend her turn to bring them all in here.
Back
and then they'll end up by the oil barrels. You can sneak in. I feel like maybe starting this off on the right foot would be a good idea, but it's also pretty early for that. That's fine. Okay. Change of answer. If you open this door and wait outside, they will run up to the fire barrels. They did not do that this time. So that's my bad. You can also sneak in and just kill her and then kill these guys when they're all the way in here and have the sneak advantage. I did mention wanting to be able to bop around. However, this is not the time and place for that. We are going to throw a void bulb and try and bring them closer. Oh, it blew it up too. Oh, because we got the brazier in it. Oh, that was good. All right, I'm happy with that. Bonus action. Undecided. Oh, let's do this one, because that'll be the whole combat. I am going to come out of range so that they can't hit me.
Creator, destroyer, don't get too close.
We're going to... Ooh, you know what? I'm going to put her to sleep. Because she is a problem.
Yes, here.
Okay, the only problem with me not going in, and just with our composition in general, is that we don't have like a tanky frontliner for this. Gaping Wounds is not bad though. I will take that. So we're also going to disengage and come over here.
Got to keep fighting.
Or not disengage, sorry, dash. We're going to spread everyone out so they can't group us up. I forgot to change out Cure Wounds again. What if you grovel this turn and don't rage? That would be lovely. I know that they need to use like the shove action to wake up their friends, but it always just looks so funny. Okay, I think we're ready to do things. So let's come out here. I want to try the there and back again. This is most of our points, but I just want to see how it works. All right, so we're going to stab. Only 3. And then we can cantrip. Oh, not cantrip. We can move back again for free? For free. But it's only 20 feet. Okay, that is not the best, but now we know. Let's stand over by the caster. Daggers out. Sorry, short swords out. I think if I come over here, I can hit all of them with Thunderwave. Like, I don't need them to go anywhere, but I would like them to take the damage. And they all saved. Take a healing potion. We now have an enemy within sneak attack. And of course we miss, why wouldn't we? Let's go ahead and run up over here.
Got to focus.
Heading there.
I don't want to use all of our potions right now. Yeah, okay, that's fair. I love how this iron cauldron has just been moved around. Okay. Bonus action. Main action.
Blood follows me everywhere.
Oof.
On my way.
Unleash me.
You know what would be great, Gale? Is if you had Shocking Grasp. We're ensnared, so we literally can't move. Let's just put people to sleep again. Awesome. Oh, and that unensnared us. I need to use sleep more often. It's really only good at earlier levels, but man, it's helpful. One whole damage. Gale's little fighting noises are the worst. Oh, well, he didn't deserve to die for it. It seems a little hasty. Okay, we finally have a bonus action, so let's... We already have this active. Let's use our last... Well... It's a con save. Not going to work on the barbarian, so that's why I went with the other one. I didn't need to use that extra point. I should have realized that before I spent the point, but that's okay. We weren't guaranteed to get it without it. We just rolled well on both damage types. Hit Torga and bonus action on Mari. This might be the first time that I've had Barton be the last man standing in this fight. 1 point each. How sad. All right, can we land some attacks here? Thank you. Trying to pick up Gale. I'm going to go ahead and loot these rooms, and then I'll be back with you all to continue through the crypt. All right, I've collected all the loot. We're going to take a short rest. You know what? We're actually going to take 2 short rests to get Gale to full. Mostly because I'm out of my ability. Shadowheart's almost out of spells. Gale has 1 left thanks to Arcane Recovery.
Can't give up now.
But this next fight's going to be our last before we take a long rest, so no point in saving those short rests now. All right. I like to speed through this room. If you run in and directly click the chest, regardless of whether or not you see the trap, you'll trigger it, and then you can just walk over here and get rid of it. And then you're all set to go. Much easier than having someone disarm all the things.
Watch how you go. There's a trap.
Looks like we got at least one shield.
I wonder what it's worth.
Also, fashion update. I redid my own dyes to be Arvindor from that dye pack, and Gale has Karsus because I thought it would be funny. We can pick up a shield though, which is helpful. Actually, you know what? Give it to Sad Gale. And then we'll use the Watcher's Guide for Shadowheart after this fight because the bludgeoning weapon is better. Also, it would be great to have someone who can wield a strength weapon aside from Shadowheart, but we are not in that position right now. So we're just going to head on in. In the easier modes of play, I believe that most of these chests give you scrolls. Like I've had up to 5 or 6 scrolls just from this crypt alone for protection from evil and good. But on the harder modes, I noticed that they don't show up very much, but there's 2 of them. We're taking all their weapons. I'm just going to collect all the little things before we start the fight so we can leave afterwards.
Forbidden knowledge, without a doubt.
Let me look real quick. Oh my gosh. We just had this problem. Okay, so we have no proficiencies in dexterity or charisma. That's a problem. All right. Come on. Open up, please.
What's past this?
Oh. What? Why aren't we reading the book? Am I crazy? What happened to the cutscene? What happened to the cutscene? All right, well. No inspiration point for Shadowheart. It's a little bit of a bummer.
That's Jurgle, scribe of the dead. I didn't think anyone still worshipped him.
All right, we're going to have Astarion come back over here and do a hide.
No one stopped me yet.
We're going to take the weapon off of this entombed warrior and put... I have more mobility than Gale, so we're going to put Shadowheart here with the fighty guy. We're going to put Gale over here so he can deal with some of the casters.
So that's progress.
We're going to do a little sneak. Let's save the game. I'm not worried, but you know, just in case the worst happens.
Oh, hells. Something just woke up.
We're going to get Astarion into the order. Are we for real right now? Wow.
Guessing.
Right.
A tale for the ages.
Let's work on one at a time. Ooh, 8. That's nice. That miss definitely hurts.
Come on, can't stay idle.
Okay. So we have some mobility. These are both bonus actions. Let's Starlight Step up here because the range is crazy. And then just run over here.
Another step forward.
Because I think our Mystic class uses our movement speed. But the Starlight Step is just a better Misty Step. Excellent. Let's walk out of the fog. And it worked good for us last time. Less good now, but that's fine. Ooh, actually,
One can't always be a gentleman.
we're going to walk up next to it so Astarion will get sneak attack bonus.
Go for the throat. On the way.
And then we will dash down here.
Another fight. Let's go. Best be on my way.
The fog cloud blinded me IRL apparently. Couldn't tell where this guy went. We go up in melee range, make sure short swords are... Oh, I meant to attack. I had a bonus action still. We probably could have killed him, but oh well.
Into the fray.
Oh wow, we haven't hit him at all. 1 point.
What should I do?
We're doing so good. 4, that means we rolled 2 points of damage. 21.
Feel that anguish.
We will take it.
Still on my feet.
Okay.
Cutting to the
Bonus action attack. See, if we had done that on our last turn, we wouldn't have taken that 5 points of damage. Okay, so this is 1 to 8, and we have a 65%, I think it said, and this is 3 to 10 with a 55. Do the Sacred Flame? Of course, it wouldn't work. Well, at least he keeps missing too.
Ready.
Time for a cull.
They didn't
Excellent.
valuables.
We took all their things off of them, so they don't have anything left.
Feel my way.
A lot of effort to hide one sarcophagus.
So, Now, I have a question for thee. What is the worth of a single mortal's life?
So he has spoken. What he are you talking about?
An arbiter of certain matters. Wilt thou answer my question?
Yes, go ahead.
So, I ask again, what is the worth of a single mortal?
I love that we're getting both monk and wisdom options here. It's really fun. Monk and wizard options is what I meant.
Few
Sounds good.
strive for such balance. Fewer still achieve it. Very well. I am satisfied. We have met. We will see.
Ooh, we got a potion of bloodlust. What were you doing hiding that in here, Withers? Alright. I'm just gonna run up the back ladder here so we can pick up, I think there's some like dagger root up here, and sometimes there's a healing potion on a skeleton. that might come in handy, and then we will take our long rest. All right. Gail would like to chat.
What's up for discussion?
Be with you in a moment.
Neat trick.
Not a trick, my friend. Magic. Be that as it may. Ceramorphosis. What does it make you think of?
Ooh, interesting. My thought process is that she is well familiar with what that means. I don't think she's going to be this terse, though. So first and foremost, that damn tadpole.
Spot on. Day 1, day 2, day 3. Need to go on?
No.
My point, any expert will agree, this is abnormal.
Can you explain why the symptoms aren't showing?
That and that grow as for some.
All right. Got some new animations of Astarion brushing his hair.
I saw you getting a lecture from our magical friend. I have to say, I thought you'd look worse, but no. Not a tentacle to be seen.
I'm hoping it'll stay that way.
Naturally, but I was thinking, what if it doesn't? Of course, first sign of change, and I'll have to stop that pretty little heart of... I am open to suggestions. Knives, poison, strangulation, whatever you'd prefer.
A knife. That seems quick.
A classic. One good thrust to the heart, and you're got... We need a good blade, of course. Don't want... Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is all a worst-case scenario.
And you?
Obviously.
How should I kill you?
Oh, my dear. I'd like to see you try. Now, let's get some rest.
All right. Time for bed. All right, let's head back to our waypoint. And we haven't gotten Lizelle yet. I still don't know how this is going to play out. We'll see.
Zora was right. Yep.
The thing's dangerous.
And if it escaped,
Your scalp.
Get rid of them.
All right, we might not get along with her, but the Githyanki is an intelligent creature, just like you. Release her and let us converse civilly. Let's give ourselves that charisma buff today. And we get a natural 20.
converse with it. I barely know what it is.
But Demaze.
This guy is just the worst.
Enough gawking. Get me down.
Say please.
Never.
All right. We are going to use someone with a firebolt to get her down.
As you say. The tadpole, but the long...
Careful. She obviously sees your kindness as weakness. Don't let her take advantage.
I think we know what crushes are, but I'll ask anyway.
Githyanki protocol is clear. When infected with a Gaith tadpole, we must report to Augustil for purification.
How about a thank you?
You may as well suggest a wyvern bow to worms. The cure I offer will suffice as thanks.
I think we'll go our separate ways.
You would sacrifice yourself to Gaith. Such tiring mediocrity.
Fine. We can try working together.
You're full up. Dismiss someone first.
Go to camp.
Very well. But heed my words. The whole Akreshma. I will be.
All right.
I'll take that.
I normally don't send Lizelle back to camp. I am curious, can you talk to Zoru without her being there? And does it go differently? Or do you need her in your party when you actually talk to him?
We should check it out, but be careful.
I'm going to pick up a second shovel to give to Astarion so that if he's off sleuthing and he needs a shovel, he can use one. Oh, we haven't used our... Oh, okay, cool. So it stayed on from yesterday. Let's give ourselves advantage on ranged attacks for this upcoming fight. We also don't have our daily buffs. I think otherwise we are fine.
What to do?
All right.
Another step forward.
Open up! What's going on?
I think we've all seen this about 10,000 times. Oh, we are in terrible placement for like a lightning bolt. Good thing we're too low level for that.
Delicious.
We are quite spread out in the initiative. At least Zeblar goes early, so we get our temporary hit points. Ooh, and a 10-shot arrow to the warg. All right. What wizard doesn't pick up Chromatic Orb? Or Magic Missile. I have questions. They would be in such a good spot for that. Don't think I can hit both of them without also hitting myself. Oh wait, I'm evocation. Forgot Thunderwave is an evocation spell. All right. Let's cast our ethereal weapon and see if we can pierce Zakruk. Oh boy. I was hoping to take care of them before that happened, but at least two of us saved, I guess. Yeah, there's no good way to get down right now. Why though? I don't trust him not to be able to run down here. You jump?
Don't get too close.
I should have positioned myself further forward. I might have been able to get the other one. Okay. So let's use our speed dart. $24 and $35. Let's use the big guy. Deals an additional 2 to 20 damage. Nice. That was 23 points.
I'll bleed every last one of you!
Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna heal Barth because this is a good playthrough, but I'm not happy about it. That went about as well as I expected. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, Astarion. I forgot I had a plan, and that was to get off of the... to have everyone get off the grease so I could fire it and run down it, but we're just going to take the damage. We've still got our temporary hit points.
This way.
I don't think we have antidote yet. We'll try. Of course.
Nothing will stand in my way.
We're going to shoot another dart. One on a 1d10. Okay, I guess it balances out from the 19 we had in the last round.
On my way.
Let's at least get in range. This Booyog is stuck around longer than usual. Oh, the joys. So exciting. If I had known that people would still be alive, you know, that we were fighting in this last round, I would have waited for the poison to wear off.
That was the last of them. Open!
They were tenacious. I wonder what they wanted here, other than bloodshed.
What's inside? Have to keep going.
Got our first warg fangs for our own potions of bloodlust eventually.
There are children here! You led them straight to us, and you let them take the druid too? Unbelievable!
One fight just ended, and now you're picking another? Relax.
Tell that to the dead at the gate. Shut it, mate! I got foul.
You see the tiefling's jaw clench. He's about to erupt.
We're just gonna stand back.
With a thunk, the armor...
Enough. We need to pack up and leave.
We have the same vigor fighting God for once. Let's try to avoid any more.
First, I damn near die at the hands of goblins. Then, a foul blood takes his frustrations out on me. I'm done with this hellhole.
Bye.
Those two must have history.
Now that's... Thank you for your help out there. I'm Zevlor,
What is this place?
a druid's grove. Whatever, this attack will only strengthen their resolve.
Why are they forcing you out?
There have been several attacks. They've stopped. We can't stay, but we'll be slaughtered if we leave.
I need a healer.
And a goblin got you. They've withdrawn there to prepare this damn ritual of theirs.
Is there any way to stop it?
I've tried. Perhaps you could persuade her. For more time to prepare, if nothing else.
What are you offering?
We'd owe you a great debt. What little we have, we'll scrape together. It isn't coin we need.
Really? We're messengers.
You'll find...
I'm always torn on whether or not to do that because the reward is very good. I keep them on Shadowheart until the very end of the game, till Act 3, and when you can buy gloves that are like upgraded versions. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do some inventory management real quick. So I thought this was going to be just a normal trip to the store, right? But Aaron has a new potion with the Mystic class. This is the Boon of Force. Permanently gain forceful knives, enhancing the power of your Mystic Soul knives. Your successful soul knife attacks give you 1 turn of Force Conduit, which is bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage against the affected entity is reduced by 1. And if the entity takes damage while it has 5 or more turns remaining, it deals 1d4 force damage in a 20-foot radius. So that's interesting. We're going to have to get that just because. Now our soul knives, do we have those? Or is that one of the specs that we did not take? Because that might be something to check. Let's pick up a couple other things while we are here. I think this is also new. This is add your spellcasting modifier to the damage of your psionic talents. And this one, the Amulet of Psychic Restoration. I imagine that gives you back psi points. Cool. And this is new. Erudite's Spear. Gain +1 bonus to spell save DC and spell attack rolls, latent power. While psionic empowerment is active, this weapon deals an additional 1 to force psychic damage. Main hand only. Endue your melee weapons with psionic energy, allowing you to use your spellcasting modifier for attack rolls. Until long rest. Okay. I'm open to it. I think we're going to put back this because we're running out of money and I don't know if I have soul knives. We'll check on that. All right, so let's try some of these out. I had just put on my Speak with the Dead necklace. But let's try this new fancy stuff. Oh, you know what I did? I think I sold a shield and I could have used that with this. Okay, so when we equip those, we have our psionic restoration. Oh, I see. Okay, so it lasts with you for the whole day, but you have to use 3 psi points to use it, and then that would use my intelligence modifier instead of my strength modifier for this weapon, because otherwise I don't do a whole lot with it unless we respec and reallocate my stats. Interesting. Okay, we're going to put that up here. I think we're going to give Gale the... we're going to give Shadowheart the missile snaring so she can keep concentration on things like Bless. That spear is so tall. Looks like a giant X-Acto knife. All right. Let's continue forth, shall we?
Hells! These...
Or yell louder. That's fine too.
Ooh, a monk option. To leave is a heavy choice that will weigh on whatever path you walked next.
Just like I was saying. Thank you, Road.
Right. Keep the tieflings around since they are definitely not around on our current Evil Dark Urge playthrough. I was looking for a level up so we could get to level 3. So let's take a look at that. All right, we get 8 psi points? That sounds fake. Like, on top of the 6? That would be great. All right, the amount of psi points you can spend at once is increased to 3. Oh, interesting. So we have a psi limit. That means that we can't use an ability that costs more than 3 psi points. So there's still a few that are still off the table, but we have more throughout the day. We are going to be gaining a cantrip, which is going to be this talent, I think. And then we're going to gain another discipline. And then the subclass feature, force an attack to miss you until the end of your next turn. You can use memory of the 1,000 steps used once per short or long rest. All right, so let's take a look. Maybe we can get psi knives, and then we could get the other item he has. Let's see. But then I guess we could, if we have psi knives, we can't use our cool spear. Being prevented from being disarmed is pretty nice. I wonder if that works for both melee and range at the same time, or if you switch back and forth if that leaves. I think we do need to take the energy beam because the lack of offensive cantrips has been noticeable. So let's take that, and then this has acid that can corrode, which I think is really cool. That's added, I believe. I don't think this is in the game, so it makes it vulnerable to bludgeoning damage. So if we can keep a bludgeoning weapon in Shadowheart's hand, that'd be pretty cool. I think there's also some abilities in the mystic trees that do bludgeoning damage. So that could be an option as well. All right. And then under disciplines, we have our huge long list again that you saw at the very beginning. We currently have these 3. And I was looking between a couple others, so those are probably the first ones we should look at. One of them was the telepathic subjugation. That gives us a +1 to our spell save DC. Permanent? Oh, it's one of the focuses. So rather than having advantage on ranged attacks or +1 to bonus, interesting. Okay, so that would be more for spell usage. We can shatter a creature's will, causing them to fall prone. This is an int save. So I had taken the other cantrip to try and force prone conditions, but that's a con save, which a lot of enemies are good at. So this would allow us to do it with an int save, but it is 2 psi points and not a cantrip. We have a hold person, a paralyzed creature. Oh, okay. This is 3 and this is 6 points. So this, I imagine, won't get unlocked until we would have access to like hold monster on a spellcaster. And then we also have psychic domination, which is the same as dominate person. And then the other one I was looking at, I think, was mastery of force. And this is more strength based, so we'd want to respec from dex to strength. And this is about like pushing, raising your armor class, force walls, casting crush. That's what I was thinking with the bludgeoning damage. With the other cantrip. And then we have move. I also kind of liked the mastery of wood and earth. It's kind of hit or miss, but this gives you a +1 to your AC for that focus. You can animate a weapon to deal extra force damage. Seize control of a weapon you are holding, dealing damage +4. So we currently are adding psychic damage, but we could add force damage if we wanted to. We can have a command drop, basically, or disarming strike, but it doesn't do damage, so more like a command drop. Warp armor. Reduce a target's armor class to 10 plus their dexterity modifier. So basically removing any armor that they're carrying. Wall of wood. Raises a wall of non-magical solid wood. Gaining resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. This is 6 psi points, so we're not going to be able to access it for a while. And that seems not the best at that level. And then also create an earth elemental. Let me take a look at some of these other ones here and see if there's anything else that catches my eye. Okay, Nomadic Mind looks very hit or miss, but very cool. It's all utility based. But one of those focuses that we can have is a proficiency in any skill of our choice. We can use Featherfall, which I'm planning on picking up on Gale anyway, so that wouldn't really be worth the psi points. We have Knock and Arcane Lock. We can conjure Thieves' Tools, Disarm Trap, or a Shovel, which is kind of fun. I don't think that's worth 3 psi points, but it's pretty neat. And then this one is what really caught my eye. When you have a total of 5 psi points available, you gain expertise in all skills, which is bonkers. So that seems really, really fun. Precognition is also really cool. This gives us a +1 to initiative with that focus if we were to choose it. You can open yourself up and gain a 1d4. It's basically a bless for yourself for up to 10 turns. It does require concentration like bless. That's 2 psi points. We have all around sight, which is basically a lucky point, but when someone attacks you, you can make them re-roll their roll. It costs 3. Danger Sense is gaining the alert feat, basically. It is 5 psi points, but saves you from having to take a feat, and you can use it once per day. It does it's concentration. So that means if you were to do something else with concentration, you would lose that ability. So I'm not sure if that's worth it. And then victory before battle is giving a +5 to 6 total creatures. That's 7 side points, so that's going to be later on, but that would be really helpful when we have that many points to be able to give our entire party basically the alert feat for a combat. And then the other one that I thought was really fun, but I have no idea how good it is this Mastery of Light and Darkness. This allows you to see through magical darkness like a warlock. You can cast darkness. You can cast light to illuminate a creature and give attack rolls against it advantage, which is pretty cool. That's basically fairy fire, but for a single target. And then the shadow beasts, which is summon a pair of shadow beasts to fight at your side. They're able to see invisible creatures. Now that sounds really cool. I don't know how good they are, and I don't know how that thematic that is for this particular character, but I kind of want to just try it because it sounds really, really fun. And then we also have Radiant Beam, which looks like it is a sunbeam, basically, that costs 5 side points. I kind of love it. I'm between that right now and the telepathic subjugation, but those are all things that, like, for the most part, we already have. Although the shattering the creature's will with an int save, that would be good too. Let's, for funsies, go with Mastery of Light and Darkness so we can try out the Shadow Beasts, and then if it's not good, we can switch over to Telepathic Subjugation. We're going to pick up a couple new spells for Gale, including Magic Missile and Burning Hands. Let's also grab Ray of Enfeeblement. We can cast Featherfall on the party now. All right, let me pick up a couple more things in town, and then we're going to go try out our new abilities. And then we're also going to see if Damon has hand crossbow for Astarion.
Thanks for fighting off. My selection's pretty slim.
Possibly a shield. Not only does he have a hand crossbow, it's the +1 hand crossbow. I will take it. All right, it looks like we can't speak with Zaru until Lozelle is here.
How long do you think we've got before the goblins?
Because he should be over here to talk to Lozelle. We're going to head over and do a couple of our little optional fights so we can test out our new level 3 abilities. Uh-oh. I'm not proficient with shields. I thought I was. We are not. Okay, well that solves that question. I don't know why I thought we were. We are going to heal up.
That helped.
I probably should figure out a couple of pre-buffs, yeah? So let's go with the +1 to weapon attacks if we want to try out our new spear. And then melee weapon using your spell casting modifier. So currently we do 1 to 8. And now we do 6 to 16. Heck yeah. All right. We have light is most definitely not a cantrip. Let's try and keep our little guys in order here. So this is going to be a full action. That puts it down here. This is an action. That's an action. Action. Bonus. And Shadow Beast action. So my system for keeping all the actions together is not going to last much longer. We are out of space. But let's These guys don't need to be here yet because we aren't allowed to spend points on them. Okay, we've got our abilities that we are allowed to use. Let's replenish the 3 psi points we just spent. Save the game. And then head down. Let's cast magic. Oh, sorry. Mirror image on Gale.
Quite ready for you.
We're going to cast Bless on the party.
Shouldn't have wished to live in
And let's get going.
Shh. Listen. Don't you hear it? No. Yes.
Trying to keep our buffs on for as long as we can. All right. I don't love going first. I usually put Astarion on the high ground, but I had too many other things I was thinking about. So we're going to dash up here. We do have the Thief subclass now. So he has an extra bonus action. Let's go ahead and just... Ooh, I don't want to hit the vines. Do I have to? Do they have hit points? Critical miss. That's rude. And we do have mobile shot because we have the hand crossbow now, and we can use that as a bonus action for more than our action was worth. Great. All right, I want to see what these beasts can do, so I'm doing it. How far can they be? Oh, really far. Okay. Look at them. 37 hit points at level 3. Heck yes. Okay, we might be keeping this. All right, and then we're going to teleport ourselves all the way over here. I want to be up in this so we can use our abilities. Bring it. Okay, memory of 1,000 steps. We can force that that reaction. This only says it uses my reaction. Can I do this every turn? Hold on. No, once per short or long rest. Okay, it says it right there. Sure, let's use it now. Ooh, look at Gale getting his critical hit for 5 whole points of damage. All right, we are going to move forward. We're concentrating on Bless. Let's go ahead and command her just not to do anything. Or we won't. Okay, I get to use my little bitey dog. 5 to 15 damage. Okay, this is busted. Amazing.
The witching hour.
They seem to get advantage from like pack tactics in D&D. We're loving it. Let's not be in the water. Okay, can I reach the ones on the island? I cannot. How do I not have advantage for being this high over her? That is what I would like to know. Larian. We're going to... What is that called? Piercing shot? That applies... I was trying... It's like, is it piercing shot or gaping wounds? But it's piercing shot that applies gaping wounds. Understood. And second bonus action. Okay, just so we can use as many cool things as we can in this fight. Let's see what else we have. Okay, the beasts are concentration, so I can't do other things that require concentration, so that's good. At least it has some checks and balances. Let's use our... Oh, we should have used this. We should have used this last turn. So ethereal weapon. I guess we misty stepped last turn. Memory of 1,000 steps. Teleport up to 30 feet. Per turn. I thought that was... Did I use that ability? I don't remember using that ability. I love them so much. I know it's not as thematic as I was trying to go with the rest of my kit, but I'm going to enjoy that. The harpies didn't used to take attacks of opportunity. I'm wondering what changed. Let's try and knock the song. Excellent. And then we want to be careful of this one. Let's put her to sleep. Can I reach? Okay, excellent. That spell is so much better in Baldur's Gate than it is in actual D&D. Alright, and then I know we get advantage on prone targets. Oh no! Can't reach. I was hoping that was going to kill her, but that's okay. Alright. So we have our ethereal weapon. Let's use one of our lethal strike points. Just one. And let's attack this other one. Oh no. Oh no, I'm out of range. That's the saddest day I've ever had. Okay. Okay, I'll take 17. That's fine. 21 point critical hit. I think you got her. I think you're good, boy. Can you do a jump? Did I break the game? Oh, there he goes. All right. Jump as far as possible. Come on. Let's go. Uh-oh. I'm learning that jumping with the Shadow Mastiffs is not a thing we do. Or anything other than bite. Amazing.
Let's have a look.
Look at the little puppies.
Are they gone?
Don't drown, child. Go back to your parents.
They're gone. Wait, findable.
Will do. I think they only last Do they last until forever? No, 10 turns. Okay. Okay. I got excited for a minute. Okay, bye. All right. Well, that is super exciting. I'm not going to go get the other chest just because it's far. We still have 5 points left, so let's go do the surprise bugbear fight. Right. I want to try out the light thing first.
Another day, another fight.
No. Oh, that sucks. Okay. So we couldn't give Astarion his bonus. We do have this option over here too to regain 2 hit points right now. I don't think that's the best thing we can do with our bonus action at the moment. Let's go ahead and teleport next to him, and we'll give Astarion advantage that way.
I'm ready.
And it won't matter.
What's the plan? Have to keep going.
I'm just going to use cantrips on Gale and Shadowheart so we can try and use more of the psi abilities. And of course he hits for 9. Why wouldn't he? Well, that looked like that hurt. Okay. Have we used everything? I feel like we've used everything. Like, I know what a Cloud of Darkness looks like. We've used Lethal Strikes. We've used Ethereal Weapon. We haven't used Energy Beam yet. So, again, this is not at all a good use of action economy, but for the sake of recording the video, I want to see the corrosive trait. Okay. Didn't seem to do anything. He doesn't have any effects. Did I pick acid? Or did I not pick acid? I did. Oh, objects, not creatures. Okay, well, never mind. We did leave Astarion next to this guy, unprotected and mostly dead.
Got to keep fighting.
That is a little problematic of us. Let's have him drop. Or again, we won't.
Victory is assured.
Oh no. Okay. So Energy Beam didn't work. That was a Dex. Con, he's gonna be good at Con. So let's just Lethal Strike. We know how that works. Great. We should have used Ethereal Weapon because somebody would have had tenacity. That's okay. We're doing so good. So professional. I've never gone long enough in this fight for her to run off of that rock. Oh my goodness, we're trying to use our cool things, everyone.
Talk to me.
Shadowheart, you have done nothing this fight. Absolutely nothing. Come on, Gale. All right. Well, with that, sorry it was a bit of a lackluster finale, but I think saw a good showing in the Harpy fight. I hope you enjoyed this video of like the introduction to the Mystic class. There's so much more to uncover. I'm going to continue to keep playing this character and trying out things, and I won't be recording all of that, but if you want to see the Mystic at higher levels or hear my feedback after I've been playing it for a while, let me know. And until then, I will see you in the next Dark Urge video.